good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Farrington Stadium here in Tempe, Arizona. And we have a good one on a Friday night. It's the number 23 Oregon State Beavers at 22-4, taking on the number 24 ranked Arizona State Sun Devils. They are 19-5. Hello, everyone. I am Michael Baribault. Joining me, Ashley Stevens. And Ashley, here on a Friday night, can't get much better. Two great pitchers going at it. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, we got two young pitchers on the mound today for ASU and Oregon State. There is nothing better than a warm day here at Farrington Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. We've got Tarni Septo. She has a 1.91 ERA, 56.2 innings pitched, only 6 walks to 86 strikeouts. Those are the two numbers to look at for Septo on the mound today for Oregon State. And we look at Mac Morgan on the mound for the Sun Devils, 1.10 ERA, 44.2 innings pitched, 13 walks, 34 strikeouts. So those two young bucks are going to be taking the lead here for Pac-12 play.
And a sophomore and a freshman, respectively, for Oregon State and Arizona State, getting the Friday night call in front of a good crowd that is filing in. It's alumni weekend. And for more on this weekend, we're going to turn it over to the third member of our broadcast team, Joey Cena.
12, and they open up Pac-12 play tonight against the number 23 ranked Oregon State Beavers. Tonight at Farrington Stadium, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Night. The Sun Devils are showing their support with their uniforms on tonight. And on Sunday, the series finale between these two teams, it will be Pediatric Cancer Awareness Day on Sunday. Back to you, Michael and Ashley.
Joey, thank you very much. Take a look at the comparison between these two teams, both scoring about 6.5 runs a game, but we obviously know these two teams are evenly matched in a lot of categories.
Absolutely. You look at the team average, the home run aspect. ASU has had a lot of balls bouncing out of this stadium here in warm Tempe nights. The team OPS, again, it's just these ASU hitters know how to get on, but they know also how to hit the ball out of the park. Team ERA 1.76 in comparison to 1.36. And here we go with the first pitch. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Night, as Joey so kindly mentioned.
Yeah, it's alumni weekend. Got a lot of fun activities throughout the weekend. Players coming back from the national championship teams ASU has had over the years, 1972, 1973. 2008 and 2011. So it'll be a lot of alumni. See Trisha Ford there giving a hug, and now we'll give you the starting lineup for tonight's game. First for the visiting Oregon State Beavers, Kiki Escobar will lead things off and play second. Eliana Gottlieb batting second and playing center field. Lacey Campbell hits third and plays first. Frankie Hamoudi is the designated hitter, hitting fourth. Charity Savatasi plays third. Kayla Nelson in right. Grace Messmer at short. Des Rivera behind the plate. And Madison Simon is in left field batting ninth. The ceremonial first pitches still underway here at Farrington Stadium. Again, alumni weekend. Former Sun Devils in town. You see the Sun Devils wearing their pink jerseys for Breast Cancer Awareness Night. Got a lot of promotions this weekend, and a very good crowd has filed into Club Farrington before the start of tonight's ball game. The umpires for tonight's game, Mike Bartling will be calling balls and strikes behind the plate. At first base, Scott Tomlinson, and at third base is Tracy Laycock. See, the Oregon State Beavers are fired up. They took 2 of 3 from ASU in Corvallis last season, and they're hoping to do the same here in Tempe as they're throwing their best arm, Tarni Septo. And there you see ASU getting fired up themselves, winners of 8 straight, hoping to start conference play on a high note as they take the field. Mac Morgan heading out to the circle, and talked about it already, but a freshman getting the Friday night start.
Yeah, you take a look at that record, 9-1, 1.10 ERA, 44.2 innings pitched, as we discussed before, and she has been dominant. And that is the reason why she is starting for the Sun Devils tonight on the mound, kick-starting off Pac-12 play. And behind her, she's had some favorable runs, as most of these ASU pitchers have, with the home run hitting of Yanni Acuna. The senior has been off to a hot start. She leads the team in a .492 batting average, so it's been tough competition all around. These ASU pitchers, they know how to bring it home. And these ASU hitters, man, they know how to leave the park.
Take a look at the defense for Arizona State. See in the infield from left to right, it will be Savannah Price at third, Alina Torres at short, Allie Harger at second, Sydney Sanders at first. In the outfield from left to right, Emily Cazares, Jasmine Hill, and Yanni Acuna. Jessica Puck behind the plate, and of course Mac Morgan, the aforementioned, in the circle, the freshman. 9-1, a 1.10 ERA. And she's getting the call, the hard-throwing right-hander. Getting the call in the circle here on a Friday night. Beautiful weather here at Club Farrington, 81 degrees just after 6 p.m. local time. The Oregon State dugout already making a lot of noise. Kiki Escobar stands in. As Escobar is ready, Morgan is ready, and let's do it from Club Farrington. First pitch of the game is taken for ball one, and we are underway at 6:01 p.m. Escobar, left-handed hitter, swings and chops it foul. Count even at 1-1. Escobar, the freshman out of Oxnard, California. 38 hits on the season, which leads the Beavers. 2 top 25 teams doing battle in Tempe. It should be a fun weekend of softball, fun night here in this one. And a swing and a miss, trying to slap it the other way. Count 1-2.
Yeah, just like the rest of this ASU roster in terms of pitching, Morgan knows how to utilize her changeup. She knows how to keep it in the zone, and she knows how to do it for a strike.
Savannah Price playing in at third. And the pitch misses outside.
Just off the plate, right where she wanted it. But we have a lot of little roars from the crowd as per usual, as we've got a packed Farrington Stadium here.
Swing and a miss. Morgan starts the night off beautifully with a strikeout, 1 away.
Morgan with a beautiful drop ball there. That's exactly what you want when you're facing a slapper who's trying to push the ball to the opposite side of the field. And she got her inside, swinging. Beautiful pitch there by Morgan.
You saw the crowd there. Some still filing in, but definitely a loud and boisterous one to start, as Eliana Gottlieb stands in and fouls it over toward the Sun Devil dugout. You can tell both teams, there's a different energy in this game. Remember speaking with head coach Trisha Ford after Tuesday's game and knowing that it's kind of like a second opening day when you begin conference play.
Oh, absolutely. You can kind of feel the slight tension in the dugouts. Everyone's a little bit more focused. Everyone's making sure they're up in the dugout cheering. This means something, Pac-12 play.
See Gottlieb there leading the Beavers in runs scored with 24. Hoping to get on base and start something for OSU here in the first, but she swings and misses. Count 1-2.
We're going to be seeing a lot of low inside pitches from Morgan as we see these left-handed hitters for Oregon State.
Swinging a chopper. Morgan fields her position nicely for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down for the freshman. And that brings in the first baseman, Lacey Campbell. Campbell hitting third as a freshman from Vallejo, California. And she swings and misses way behind the heater.
Yeah, Morgan is the hardest hit thrower for the ASU Sun Devils, and I'm sure that's why she's getting the start tonight, other than the fact that she's been utterly dominant.
That one's inside, so count even at 1-1. Campbell out of St. Patrick's St. Vincent High School in Vallejo, solid program in Northern California. Morgan takes a look at the wristband, has what she likes, and the pitch. That's called strike 2.
Beautiful curveball. She just has a plethora of pitches under her belt.
So Morgan a strike away from a 1-2-3 top of the first. That's outside. The Deucers are wild for the first time tonight.
Yeah, Morgan trying to make sure that that curveball stays away and off the plate so that Campbell does not get a good bat on it.
That was fouled right side. Campbell late on it. Do the 2-2 once more. Oregon State as a team so far through 26 games has hit 31 home runs. 22-4 on the season. That one's fouled back to the screen. We'll do it again.
And we talked earlier in the broadcast, 31 in comparison to 36 for Arizona State. And we hype Arizona State a lot with their home run hitting, and Oregon State has been doing just the same.
Swing and a miss. Climbed the ladder with Campbell on that one to end the inning. So Mac Morgan, a pair of strikeouts. And that's her at 1-2-3, top of the first. No runs, no hits, nobody left. The Sun Devils coming to bat here on ASU Live Stream 1. And welcome back to Farrington Stadium. Here you see the ASU lineup. We're going to lead off with Alina Torres playing short, Yanni Acuna in right. Sydney Sanders, the freshman, hits third and plays first. Jasmine Hill batting fourth and playing center field. Emily Cazares is in left. Jasmine Rollin is the designated hitter. Hallie Harger at second. Jessica Puck behind the plate. And Savannah Price bats ninth and plays third base. And in the circle for Oregon State, we mentioned her in the open, Tarney Steptoe.
Yeah, Tarney, similar record to Mac Morgan. She is the young sophomore right-handed pitcher for Oregon State. She has an 8-1 record, 1.91 ERA, 56 innings pitched, 6 walks in comparison to that 86 strikeouts.
That strikeout to walk ratio definitely is something that catches the eye when you're looking at the stat sheet. A 155 batting average against. She has been quite simply nearly unhittable this season.
I mean, what that tells you as you look at the numbers is she just, when she gets on that mound, she locks in. There's not much that's going to rattle her. She's been dominant, and she's starting here for a reason.
So Alina Torres stands in the shortstop. Sun Devils' first chance to bat here in conference play. And she takes ball one. Steptoe, another hard-throwing right-hander. Got 2 pitchers in the circle tonight that will be popping the catcher's glove a lot. See Torres right there, hitting just over 400, leading the team in doubles. Junior out of Glendale. And she takes a called strike on the outer half.
Yeah, we talk about these first 3 batters for Arizona State. 400 hitters, 403 for Torres, 492 for Acuna, 466 for Sydney Sanders, the freshman sensation. Tough 3.
Pitch missing inside. 2-1 the count. Torres ahead. Talking about Steptoe, she spent some time at Salt Lake City College for donning the orange and black. Originally out of Sydney, Australia, the 6-foot sophomore. 2-1. Lined into center field for a base hit. Alina Torres right off the bat shoots one into center field.
Talk about waking the crowd up. We heard a loud roar coming from the stands, and Alina Torres starts things off with a single to center field. What a nice hard hit ball to get up there, kind of relax the nerves a little bit. You're facing a good pitcher in Tarni Septo.
Let's take a look at the Oregon State defense. From left field to right field, Madison Simon, Eliana Gottlieb, and Kayla Nelson. In infield from third to first, Charity Sevatasi, Grace Messmer, Kiki Escobar, and Lacey Campbell is at first. Des Rivera behind the plate as Yanni Acuna hits one into shallow left. Coming in is Simon to make the catch. So on the first pitch, Acuna is retired. And that's going to bring up the freshman sensation, Sydney Sanders. Come out of the gates red hot in the first 24 games, hitting .466. So you see it on the graphic there.
Yeah, 22 runs, 27 RBIs, 7 home runs, and that OPS is just off the charts.
And she takes strike one. Sanders was someone that was getting intentionally walked in the first weekend of her time as a Sun Devil in the Kajikawa Classic. Duke intentionally walking Missouri State. All the good teams they played, Minnesota. They knew how dangerous she was. And that ball's outside.
Now you take a look at where catcher Rivera is setting up. She's setting up on the, not just the outer part of the plate. Her body is in the left-hander's batter's box. She's trying to keep that curveball out, barely touching the plate. She does not want Sanders to touch any bit of this.
Off the fist, popped up. Steptoe will make the catch. Big out to get for Oregon State, as Sanders is retired on the pop out. And that'll bring in Jasmine Hill.
And too far outside pitches and going in right in the hands, catching Sanders a little bit off balance. And that's a nice pitch right there.
You see Hill leading ASU in runs score, 26. Pac-12 All-Conference third-team honoree last season, hitting .375 here in 2022. She takes inside. Hill coming off an 0 for 3 night on Tuesday in the win over Marist. That's ASU's 8th in a row and 11 of 12 overall. She fouls one right side out of play. And a souvenir for a fan that will quickly have to give that back to ASU security.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do not let the fans keep those, as each softball makes its way back into the field eventually.
1 ball, 1 strike on Jasmine Hill. Runner on first. We're just underway here at Club Farrington. That pitch misses high. Alina Torres started things off with the single, and Yanni Acuna flew out to the left fielder Simon, and Sydney Sanders popped out to Steptoe, just in front of the circle. That's where we stand right now with Hill in the box as time is called from Steptoe. Home plate umpire Mike Bartling will dust off home plate. That's up and in, so Hill ahead in the count, 3-1.
Yeah, Steptoe wanted to go back in with that rise ball. See if Hill was going to chase at it. She probably wanted to keep it in the zone a little bit longer for a strike, but Hill doing a nice job of laying off of that one.
Torres on first. And that's strike 2, outer half. Count runs full.
And we're probably going to be seeing that outside curveball being hit on just the outer portion of the plate, with Rivera setting up on in the left-handed batter's box quite a bit tonight.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the first. And Hill with a good eye takes ball 4. Running on the play was Torres. She's able to head into second standing. Sun Devils have a rally cooking here in the bottom of the first. And here's Emily Cazares. And a I'm sure she'd love nothing more than to give this big crowd something to cheer about with a base hit here.
Oh yeah, Cazares with that .392 batting average. 4th best on the team, but to have a .392 batting average and be the 4th best, you expect the hitters in front of you to get on base, and her RBI total just skyrockets so long as she gets that base hit. That's exactly what she needs right here.
The third baseman, Sevatasi, guarding the line heavily at third for Oregon State, protecting that potential hit down the line. And there's strike 2. Nice pitch from Steptoe.
Yeah, Steptoe throwing hard tonight, just as Mac Morgan is. Such young talent on both teams, and as we see, we are so evenly matched here. Oregon State is ranked 23rd, Arizona State 24th. This is going to be a good 3-game battle.
There's ball 1, and you mentioned how young these pitchers are. It just means that the future is bright for both these programs, that these types of matchups where they're ranked very closely in the rankings and can't get much closer than 23 and 24, these are going to be battles that go on for years to come.
Absolutely, and that helps out the recruiting process tremendously, because if you can turn your young bucks into national players who are performing at such a high level, they're going to want to play for you even more.
Certainly does help so. The Deucers are wild for the second time. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on for Emily Cazares. She swings and chops one up the middle. Escobar, the second baseman, bobbles it, loses the handle. Everybody's safe. So Cazares is aboard. The bases are loaded. We'll see how they score it. But nonetheless, Jasmine Rollins going to have a chance with the bases juiced.
Yeah, Escobar bobbles it just a little bit, and that's what running hard to the first base is going to do for you. You're going to put just that little bit of pressure on the infielders to make a play, and that's why it is so important to just get the ball in play.
And it was ruled an error by Kiki Escobar at second, and it was going to be a tough play. It wasn't hit all that hard. Cazares running hard down the line. Being the left-handed hitter has those extra couple steps. Escobar tried to go back to second to get Jasmine Hill potentially rounding second, but was unable to do so. Now here comes left-handed hitting Jasmine Rollins. And that's outside ball 1.
Jasmine Rollins was one of the many hot bats over the weekend for Farrington at Farrington Stadium, who hit a walk-off home run for one of the 3 of the 4 Mercy Rule victories Arizona State had over the weekend.
She drills one right center field. Does it have enough? It does! Jasmine Rollins, a grand slam. And Arizona State wakes up this crowd. It's 4-0.
Man, talk about a shot, an absolute line drive to right center. We just spoke on her hot bat, and she comes through bottom first, 20 pitches thrown, and it is 4-0 quick here at Farrington Stadium.
So the crowd's on their feet. Hallie Harger's going to step in. And how big does that hit feel, not only for Rollins, but for ASU as a whole, if they had let that opportunity go to waste and not having score with a bases loaded situation? Not only do you get 1, you get 2, you get 3, and you get 4.
Well, I was just going to commentate on, how many pitches were thrown so far this inning, because Arizona State does such a good job of being patient in the box. They're not just power hitters, but they know what they're looking for. They're coached very well by Trisha Ford. And so when you work a young pitcher like this and you see enough pitches, she's going to have to go in on you. And these Arizona State hitters, they love to hit the hard stuff. And that's exactly what Steptoe's throwing here.
Count even at 1-1 on Harger.
I'd like to see how Steptoe responds as a sophomore, because this is probably the first time in a while she's been rattled given her success so far this season.
Yeah, Steptoe came in with a 1.48 ERA. And And we mentioned the strikeout to walk ratio, 86-6. And she ended up walking Jasmine Hill, so it's just the 7th walk of the season and hasn't been able to get Sun Devil down swinging as of yet. But the Sun Devils have put up a crooked number, 4-0, as the Deuces are wild for a 3rd time.
Yeah, and you can see up there, Steptoe's wiping a bit of sweat off of her forehead already, and that's a little early. We're in the bottom of the 1st. But we can see why she's so successful. She throws that. She's a hard thrower. She throws the curveball for a strike. She gets you on the inside rise ball. I've yet to see an off-speed thrown here for a strike that the ASU hitters have let go by. So when you throw a hard pitch back to back to back to back, you start to take care of it. You start to time it better, and that's exactly what these ASU hitters are doing.
Steptoe trying to get out of the 1st. And that hits Harger. So Harger's aboard with 2 outs. That's going to bring up the catcher, Jessica Puck, as she has to take off her catching shin guards before she steps up to the plate. ASU batting 8 players in this bottom of the 1st, something I don't think Tarney Steptoe or the rest of the Oregon State Beavers team or fan base expected.
Yeah, you got to prepare for everything. I'm sure they knew exactly who they were facing in this lineup for Torres, Acuna, and Sanders. And I mean, give Steptoe credit. She might have given up a base hit to Torres to lead off the inning, but she got Acuna to fly out. She got Sanders to fly out on the hands, both on the hands. So she's doing something right.
Of course, that error by Escobar at second certainly did not help. That kept the inning alive for Jasmine Rollin, as she made him pay with the grand slam over the right center field wall.
Yeah, she's still utilizing that outside corner as we see a curveball just off the plate, called for a ball.
Harger's on 1st. And ball 2. Says home plate umpire Mike Bartling.
She's trying to hit that spot. She's trying to get that weak ground ball to the right side of the field so she can get out of this inning.
That one's a line down the left field line, but foul. Count 2-2. The Deuces are wild.
For the
4th time. Going at a record pace. We only had 4 times the entire game on Tuesday.
If anyone would like to get us a lottery ticket or 2 up here in the booth, we'd greatly appreciate you.
2-2 pitch is low. Picked out of the dirt by Rivera, so the count is full.
Not sure if that was Steptoe's off speed that just slipped from her hands or a drop ball she threw just a little bit too early there, that release from her pitch, from her wrist.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. And it's in there. Strike 3 called. Out or half. Puck did not think so, but nonetheless, the inning is over. But it was a good one for Arizona State. 4 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and they leave 1. We've played 1 inning here at Club Farrington. 4-0 Arizona State here on ASU Livestream 1. Top of the second inning, 4-0 Arizona State. Was led by the Jasmine Rowling grand slam in right center field. And Mac Morgan is going to go to work with a lead for the first time. And the Beavers will have the heart of their order, 2 up. 4, 5, and 6, Frankie Hamoudi, the designated hitter. Just takes ball 1.
Hamoudi back, as you said, 468 on the year, 14 runs, 2 RBIs, 9 home runs. And we'll see if Oregon State can get something going against Mac Morgan here.
2 balls and no strikes now to Hamoudi. See if, like you said, Oregon State can respond here. Trailing 4-0. Junior out of Oakland, California at the plate.
Oregon State doing a nice job of recruiting out of the Bay Area.
She's way behind that pitch there. Count 2-1. Led the team in multiple categories last season. 17 home runs, 41 RBIs, 49 hits, 765 slugging, and a 456 on-base percentage. All team leads for Hamoudi in 2021. She's ahead in the count now, 3-1.
Yeah, I can see Morgan going back to that outside curveball. Both pitchers having a little similar techniques, similar game plans.
Get on the ground to second. Harger fields nicely, throws to first in time for out number 1.
Nice inside pitch by Morgan to jam her on the hands to get a ground ball. Hard hitter to escape, but nice response for the first out of the inning.
Charity Savatasi stands in. She swings and foul tips this one into Jessica Puck's glove behind the plate to count 0-1.
Yeah, we talk about lucky numbers here. Savatasi batting .333 on the year, 13 runs, 16 RBIs, 4 home runs.
Pitch missing high. Morgan hoping for that shutdown inning after Sun Devil offense gave her 4 runs to work with.
You see her smiling back in the dugout oftentimes.
Hit off the fist. Savannah Price, the third baseman, makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down on weak contact to start the second.
Yeah, Morgan doing a great job of hitting the inside part of the plate to jam the batters, but this is exactly what Oregon State did. It was a 2-out rally. She got her 2 pop-outs. And so
Kayla Nelson stands in off the glove of Sanders, and she's going to reach. See how they score that officially. Off the glove of Sydney Sanders. So Oregon State, nonetheless, will have their first base runner of the game, and it will be ruled an error on Sanders. So both teams now with 1 error.
Morgan facing a similar situation to Steptoe last inning. The only difference being the single to center field by Torres.
Grace Messmer, the hitter, the shortstop. And she takes inside. Morgan pounding that inside part of the plate to a lot of these hitters. Probably hoping that they don't get extended and hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Yeah, that's exactly what she's trying to do, but the home plate umpire hasn't been really favoring it. It's been just hitting the plate. But sometimes when you've got so much movement on the ball, it's hard to follow it in all the way to the glove of Puck back there in the squat.
And so many of these hitters way behind Morgan's fastball, unable to catch up to it. And you look at Messmer there, standing all the way back in the box and even choking up an inch or 2 on the bat, but unable to catch up to this point. as Mesmer now heading the count 3-1.
Yeah, we talked last inning about Steptoe. She throws hard as well. She's a hard-throwing pitcher up there on that mound, and the Arizona State hitters caught up to it. And once they did,
right to Sanders. She just has to step on the bag for the out to end the inning. So Oregon State does nothing with the E3 as Sanders finds her on the very next batter, and she takes care of business. So no runs, no hits, one left. We've played an inning and a half. 4-0 Arizona State here on ASU live stream. Back here at Club Farrington, 4-0 Sun Devils, and they'll have their 9, 1, and 2 hitters due up, starting with Savannah Price, the third baseman. 375 hitter is Price.
yeah, Price getting that batting average up. She does a great job of staying in the batter's box. She's patient because she knows she has Torres, Acuna, and Sanders to follow, and all she needs to do is get on base. And so we see her moving that batting average up to 375.
She takes ball one, and she does. You mentioned her getting on base, a 483 on base percentage, one of the highest on the team. Definitely kind of, taking on that second leadoff hitter role.
Absolutely. That is exactly what she's there for. She's not a power hitter, but she knows how to maneuver the ball through the field. She knows where her defense is. And she's patient. She's going to make you work for it.
Count 1-1. Third baseman Sevatasi playing about a step in front of the bag at third and guarding the line. Same with the first baseman Campbell, as Price now works ahead in the count. See what ASU can do for an encore after that first inning. Torres reaching on a single, then a couple of outs, and then a walk, an error, and then, of course, the grand slam by Jasmine Rollin. There's strike two.
Puck's taking a little bit of a walk out of the batter's box, kind of shaking her head a little bit. She knew that ball was too far off the plate for her reach. So she's going to choke up and make her adjustment.
And that's right there, strike three called. Price down looking back-to-back strikeouts dating back to last inning for Steptoe. And we flip our lineup card over back to the top for Alina Torres. She started the first inning rally with a single up the middle. Beginning of Pac-12 play here at Farrington Stadium. Pitch outside. I know Tricia Ford on Tuesday after the game kind of broke things down into three mini seasons. You have non-conference play, conference play, and then the postseason. And certainly kind of use this as, use the term earlier in the broadcast, kind of a second opening day 2.0. Get that extra excitement, get a big crowd in the stands, and you have that little bit of extra boost of energy.
Absolutely. And when you take a look at the Pac-12, every team that you play is a rival. I know Farrington Stadium and the Sun Devils are not huge fans of the University of Arizona, but you've got to bring your A game when you're playing against Pac-12 softball. And so just as you said, just as Trisha Ford said, it is a second opening day, but it's not necessarily a relaxed opening day. It's more of the anticipation of what's to come this season for the Sun Devils. And so we're seeing a lot more oohs, a lot more ahs in the crowd.
Torres ahead in the count 3-1 as the catcher Rivera will have a conversation with Steptoe. And with the Pac-12 being such a tough conference, probably it's one of, if not the toughest conference in the nation for college softball.
Absolutely. The Pac-12, SEC, there's just a lot of great softball being played throughout the entire nation. And I know softball only gets that hype when we hit the postseason, but I mean, they play this hard all spring, and we got to get more broadcasts.
So Torres ahead in the count. Chops that one to the left side. Sevatasi fields and throws to first in time. So a pair of outs to start the second for Tarni Steptoe. So that brings in Yanni Acuna.
Acuna, the senior, starting in all 24 games that she's played so far this season. A big leader on the team.
She drills that one left field. Going back is Simon, just shy of the track to make the catch. And that will end the inning. So no runs, no hits, and nobody left. We've played 2 innings from Club Farrington. You see it right there, 4-0 Arizona State here on ASU Livestream 1. Top of the 3rd inning, 4-0 Arizona State over Oregon State. And now another report from the 3rd member of our broadcast booth, Joey Sena.
Thanks, Michael. It's a special weekend with conference play getting started. It is also alumni weekend. Members from the championship teams of 1972, 1973, 2008, and 2011 will be throwing out ceremonial first pitches throughout the series. This will hopefully give ASU the confidence they need to go into enemy territory next weekend when they travel to U of A to face the Wildcats. Back up to the booth.
Thank you, Joey. Great report as always, as first pitch diving stop by Harger. And that's going to be an infield single for Des Rivera.
Yeah, Harger did a nice job of getting to her forehand and taking that extra step to get to the hole of the field. Unfortunately, just pops out of her glove, and we're going to be rolling that infield single.
So that'll bring up Madison Simon.
Pinch runner, first base number 22, Jade Soto. The batter, number 33, Madison Simon.
So pinch runner at first for Oregon State, running for the catcher Rivera. It's Jade Soto. So that was the change being made. And a called strike to Madison Simon. First hit for Oregon State. Now both teams are in the hit column. That one's popped up. Giving chase is Price. She calls off Jessica Puck, the catcher, to make the catch. As Simon's retired, we flip our lineup over to the top, Kiki Escobar. And Joey mentioned Arizona. That's where ASU will be heading next weekend. They'll be heading to Tucson. Arizona is ranked number 20 in the country, one of 6 Pac-12 teams in the D1softball.com top 25. Arizona State included as well. That'll be a lot of fun. Swing and a miss, the count 0-1.
Absolutely. We take a look at the rankings. Oklahoma at 1, Florida State ranked 2nd, UCLA coming in Pac-12 play. They are ranked 3rd. Alabama, Florida, Virginia Tech, Duke, Arkansas, Northwestern, and Washington. Those are the top 10. Oregon ranked 12th. And Arizona ranked 20th, and we got ASU at 24. It is a jam-packed Pac-12.
Certainly will be a big series for so many reasons as Escobar chases. Of
Yeah,
course,
you got to keep it tight.
You're playing your rival on the road, top 25, conference play. I mean, the stakes can't get that much higher.
Absolutely not, and I cannot wait to see this Farrington Stadium jam-packed with sides from both sides, with fans from both sides. And that is why this series is so important, because it kickstarts you into a rivalry like that.
Of course, you mentioned Duke at number 7. That's a win that ASU has over number 7 Duke. That was Christiana Watson's walk-off 3-run home run in that back-and-forth contest. That was at the Kajikawa Classic. I believe it was their 3rd game of the season. And that could turn out to be a huge win coming down the stretch, especially if ASU is able to keep up their winning ways in Pac-12 play, move up those rankings, and you never know down the road.
Absolutely.
Sanders has it, wins the race to the bag. 2 are gone. And that brings up Gottlieb. And 6 Pac-12 teams represented in the top 25 rankings according to D1softball.com. Of course, as Ashley mentioned, UCLA at 3-22-3 on the season. Of course, Kelly Enoy Perez doing her thing, and these are the NCAA softball rankings now, as you see Washington, UCLA represented in that top 10.
Yeah, as we see conference play getting underway here, those wins against Duke and against these top-ranked softball teams in the nation, like they're going to come up big.
That one's roped to left field down the line, going back Cazares, but it's going to hook foul, and the count will be even at 1-1. So they'll be in Tucson next weekend, and then they will be at number 12, Oregon, the following weekend. And then their next homestand will be against Utah right here at Farrington Stadium, April 14th through the 16th, Thursday through Friday. 3-game set. So 2 really tough road trips coming up for ASU.
Yeah, earlier on in the season we talked about
that one's into center field. Base hit. Coming around third and scoring is the pinch runner, Jade Soto, and Oregon State is on the board. An RBI single for Eliana Gottlieb. It's 4-1.
something that we did not expect up here in the booth were offensive rallies coming this early in the game. As you see, Oregon State is rattling Mac Morgan a little bit up there. She's got 39 pitches so far this inning. It is a 2-out rally. And once you see the hard stuff enough, you start to catch up to it no matter how hard Mac Morgan is pitching. These are Division I softball players. They know how to shorten it up. They know how to utilize that 2-strike count. As we see a shot up the middle, and it's gonna take just that. Oregon State's gonna have to chip away using base hits and being patient up there.
That one's popped up. Hallie Harger makes the catch at second base, 2 in the inning. Again, off the fist that time from Lacey Campbell. But Harger puts away, but Oregon State does get a run on 2 hits, and they leave 1. And head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Arizona State 4, Oregon State 1 here on ASU Livestream 1. Bottom of the third inning, 4-1 Arizona State. And they are going to have the heart of their order due up, starting with freshman Sydney Sanders, followed by Jasmine Hill and Emily Cazares. Sanders 0 for 1. She popped out to Steptoe in the first inning.
Steptoe got her on the hands, jammed her a little bit. Let's see if she comes back to that inside pitch.
Fouled back.
Yeah, she's utilizing that curveball as we see that outside pitch getting fouled back by Sanders, and so that's something that Arizona State's going to have to hop on top of. She was throwing those curveballs earlier in the game for balls, keeping them just off the plate, but if she can hit that corner, she might just get Oregon State back in this thing.
Pitch missing inside. That pitch really hasn't been there all game for either side. Been very tight on the inside part of the plate for both teams.
Yeah, something that we've seen a lot of so far prior to Pac-12 play. That inside pitch is just not favored for whatever reason.
2-1 the count now to Sanders. Sanders, the freshman out of San Marcos, California. Now Tarni Steptoe is going to get a new softball.
We have San Marcos, Oakland, Vallejo. Oregon State's loving that California play.
Sanders was the 9th ranked player in the nation, according to Extra Innings Softball's Elite 100 players coming into Tempe. She certainly showed it, getting off to a great start as a Sun Devil.
Yeah, she might just be a freshman, but this is something that I repeat constantly on the broadcast. She steps up to the batter's box as if she's a senior, as if she's been playing Division I softball for 3 years now under her belt, and she's entering her 4th season. So it's going to be scary as there are years to come when she just gets smarter and smarter up there, and she's just a freshman, so she's going to get stronger too.
She awaits the full count pitch from Steptoe. She checks the wristband, has what she wants, winds and fires. And she deals ball 4. Second walk issued by Steptoe after issuing just 6 in her first 56 2/3 innings coming into tonight's game. And a leadoff runner for the Sun Devils for Jasmine Hill.
Yeah, Arizona State working through this lineup a lot quicker than Oregon State. And as we said earlier, they are just so patient up there in the plate.
ASU going to look to extend their lead. That's chopped foul, 0-1 the count. Hill walked and scored in the first inning. She scored on Rollins' grand slam. All the scoring for ASU to this point. Oregon State responding with a run in the top of this inning. RBI single from Eliana Gottlieb. Count even at 1-1. Lights taking full effect now here at Club Farrington. Sun has set. Temperature hasn't dropped all that much, just down to 77 degrees.
It's supposed to stay there throughout, the rest of the night.
Gotta love coming to Arizona this time of year. Gonna see some great softball and beautiful weather.
Yeah, and down the road we have spring training. So a very enjoyable experience spring is in the state of Arizona. A lot of baseball, a lot of softball being played.
Hill with a good eye, evens the count at 2-2.
Yeah, Steptoe's trying to utilize that outside part of the plate. She's not hitting it yet. And as we take a look at the other side, baseball being played, Oregon State ranked 5th in the nation, up 12.
Let's chop to first, step on the bag for 1, throw to second, not in time. So Hill is retired. Up to second goes Sanders. For out number 1, here's Emily Cazares.
Apologize, but Oregon State ranked 5th in the nation for baseball, up 12-0 on Arizona State. It is the top of the 4th, and a little bit of an opposite effect going on. There was a grand slam hit by the Beavers in the bottom of the 1st inning. Same thing happened here, just flipping the coin over. Arizona State being on the lucky side of that.
Yeah, 4 runs in the first, 3 runs in the second, 5 runs in the third for Oregon State up in Corvallis on the baseball side. So obviously a rough start for ASU baseball up there. Adam Tulloch got the start for the Sun Devils. So certainly something that they're going to want to improve on as the weekend goes by, as count even at 1-1.
Yeah, much difference in matchups when you take a look at the score sheet. When you're here at Farrington, you know, Oregon State is the ranked 23rd, ASU 24th, and as far as baseball goes, ASU just got off to a slower start.
That one's hit in the air, foul territory. Simon making the catch for out number 2. Sanders holds at second.
Yeah, ASU baseball getting off to a slower start. Not necessarily getting the run support or the same pitching effect that softball has had this year, but working on it.
Still a lot of baseball to be played. Same with a lot of softball to be played up and through mid-May. And of course, this will be the first year of the Pac-12 tournament in baseball. So see Jasmine Rollins, she's done all the damage to this point. The grand slam in the 1st inning over the right center field wall. Has another chance with the runner in scoring position here. She takes ball 1. Of course, the spring semester got tons of sports going on. Baseball, softball, lacrosse, tennis, beach volleyball with a brand new facility out just beyond the right field wall here at Club Farrington. We'll have streams for them next Thursday. I have, in fact, 4 beach volleyball streams next Thursday. To see the stream team upcoming schedule right there. We'll have the final 2 games of this series. And on Tuesday, GCU comes in for a local rivalry contest to Phoenix Municipal Stadium. And then the aforementioned 4 beach volleyball streams.
Yeah, special shout out to Mark Rita, who is in charge of the stream team, and the Arizona State Sun Devils behind each camera, directing, producing, doing everything.
All student run, student announcers, student produced, as you said, student directed, all from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication at Arizona State. So thanks to Mark, thanks to the entire production staff for being here tonight, being here this weekend, and being here really all year, bringing you all these events for Arizona State sports as Rollin takes ball 4, 4-pitch walk, 3rd walk issued by Steptoe. Runners on 1st and 2nd for Hallie Harger.
Yeah, that pitch count is quickly rising for Steptoe as we see 61 pitches so far. We are only in the bottom of the 3rd.
And there is someone getting loose in the Oregon State bullpen. Can't make out a number, but there is someone throwing, a right-hander.
And we don't have a camera there yet for the stream team.
So see if perhaps if Harger can reach here, maybe Oregon State head coach Laura Berg makes a move. As there's ball 1, 5 straight balls thrown by Steptoe. Something must just be off her game for Tarney Steptoe.
And as we talked about earlier, we're going to see how she responds to the 4-run grand slam in the 1st inning. I mean, she was able to put away the Sun Devils in the 2nd inning, but you know, as the pitch count rises, she's going to have to hone in on just throwing a strike just so she can get out of the inning and just so that pitch count doesn't have to go up. She's been working a lot, working more than I'm sure she would like to. As we see up there on the screen, we have 32 balls in comparison to 30 strikes, and we talked earlier in the broadcast about her strikeout to walk ratio, and so this is very uncharacteristic as far as pitching stats go.
Steptoe in trouble now. Behind in the count, 2-1. Runners are on 1st and 2nd. Arizona State trying to get that run back. Oregon State scored in the top of this inning, and perhaps even more. It's now 3-1. Jessica Puck waits on deck.
And you talk about control. Harger was hit by a pitch, and so she reached base in the first inning. 3-1 in the count. We'll see if Steptoe goes to her outside curveball. That she does, but she doesn't hit it.
And now the bases are loaded for a second time in this game. Back-to-back walks. And we talked a lot about the strikeout to walk ratio. Now 4 walks issued by Tawny Steptoe in this game after issuing just 6 all season coming into it. She came in throwing 56 2/3 innings, throwing just 6 walks, allowing just 6 walks, and now she's allowed 4 in just 2 2/3 to this point as Jessica Puck stands in.
Yeah, we talked about how the ASU hitters are patient, and they're making her work for it. And it's just something that Steptoe's going to have to work on as she gets older, as she gains more experience with Pac-12 play under her belt. Puck, no home runs on the year so far.
And now we'll have a visit to the circle. The entire infield will converge, and on the other side, Trisha Ford will send a message to the ASU offensive players. Probably just a confidence talk.
That's exactly what it is.
As Rivera shares a laugh with her coach, and there you see the other side. The Arizona State base runners, they're having a good time, leading 4-1 to start Pac-12 play.
Yeah, happy faces all around. What's not to love? Warm weather here in Tempe, Arizona, but we see Steptoe grabbing that rosin bag, and I think that's exactly what her issue is tonight so far. She's working more than she would like to. It is a warm night here in Arizona at Farrington Stadium, and that ball just might be slipping from her hands.
Yeah, cold weather team, Oregon State, coming into a warm weather climate like Arizona certainly can be an adjustment period, but some may think it could be the other way around, where if this was happening in Corvallis, the effect could more heavily be played on Arizona State. 3-0.
Yeah, she's just having just a bit of an issue with that grip there. You can tell her outside pitch, her curveball, is what she likes to throw for a strike. She keeps going back to it. I know she's gotten a few of these Arizona State Sun Devils on the hands with her inside fastball, but she's not hitting it.
That's ball for a 4-pitch walk to Jessica Puck. A run comes in to score 3 straight walks issued by Steptoe. Sanders touches home plate. It's 5-1 Sun Devils. So 2 of the 3 walks are 4-pitch walks. The other one to Harger was a 5-pitch walk. Steptoe just not finding it at all here in this 3rd inning.
Yeah, earlier we had Rivera going to the mound, asking her, what pitches are we going to throw for strikes? And then we had the confidence talk.
And a strike to Savannah Price.
There's not much else you can do other than, Steptoe just kind of having to talk down herself or grab as much powder from the rosin bag as she can.
Bases full of Sun Devils. And a swing and a miss. Count quickly 0-2. Rollins on 3rd, Hargers on 2nd, and Puck's on 1st, and they all reach base via the walk. But Steptoe trying to limit the damage to just 1 run. Check swing, did she go? Yes, she did, says home plate umpire Mike Bartling. Price retired on strikes for the 2nd time to end the inning, but for the Sun Devils, another run on no hits, and they leave 3. We've played 3 innings, 5-1 Sun Devils. Chad Vatherine is going to take over for innings 4 and 5 here on ASU Live Stream 1. Do not go anywhere.
5-1, Arizona State leads heading into the top of the 4th inning. Chad Vatherine alongside Ashley Stevens on the call halfway through the game in the first Pac-12 game for both of these teams.
Yeah, we're starting Pac-12 play here tonight at Farrington Stadium. A beautiful, warm weather day as we head into the nighttime. The sun has set, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast. Welcome, Chad.
I'm happy to be on. Frankie Hamoudi steps up to the plate to lead off the 4th inning. Little check swing dribbler to the right side is a foul ball.
Yeah, Mac Morgan still on the mound for Arizona State. 42 pitches through 4.
Mac Morgan from a pretty small town in Missouri, a town of just less than 1,000 people in total.
Yeah, so she stood out pretty well.
Absolutely stood out pretty well. Former Missouri Gatorade Player of the Year in a high school of student population less than about 300. Hamoudi took that pitch for a strike. It's 0-2 the count.
Mac Morgan entered the game with a 1.10 ERA.
And it gets off the glove. Hamoudi, we'll see how that gets recorded. I think pretty sharp hit to reach first base. Off the glove of Savannah Price. Looks like it's probably going to be a hit. It was a very sharp hit ball over to third base.
Yeah, something about that hot corner, but she's tapping her chest. She said, "My bad, Mac."
And that's really all that she can do. I mean, Mac has had some trouble. Well, she hasn't had trouble, but her defense at least sometimes has trouble when she's on the mound. More runs than earned runs not going into her favor so far this season.
As a freshman, doing a nice job of putting them out later, as that earned run average isn't even close to 2.
That first pitch fouled off by Seven Tessie. 0-1 to start off the count. Quickly gets to 0-2, second pitch. Goes into the strike inside part of the plate. Hamoudi probably not a threat to run. Doesn't run so much so far in the season. Third pitch they bat fouled off. A little late on it. Still an 0-2 count. You know, Trisha Ford's got to be pretty confident about her entering this new Pac-12 play. So far, 52 and 43 career record in Pac-12 conference and as the Arizona State coach. But this is a very good Oregon State team.
Absolutely, and it doesn't get much better. We see a fly ball caught by the left fielder, Cazares, for the first out of the inning.
And there's one away. And talking about Ford, I mean, she's got to be very happy. This is a very good Oregon State team, and they're up by a couple runs so far. However, Ashley, this Oregon State team has also really turned it around. They finished 7th in Pac-12 play last year. That's because this is a very freshman-heavy team. 14 of their players are freshmen. They only have 2 upperclassmen. And that was Nelson. Singles into left field. She gets on for the second time of the evening. Single right through the 5 and 6 hole. First hit for her night.
Yeah, we talked about Arizona State getting to the pitcher early. And so as we see Mac Morgan facing a little bit of adversity here with a runner on second now. She's up 5-1. So I don't see her moving away from these Oregon State hitters. But as you said, Oregon State, a young team, something to look forward to as they continue. They're ranked 23rd so far in the nation in as tough of a conference as the Pac-12 we highlighted earlier in the broadcast. UCLA, Washington ranked, Arizona ranked.
A lot of ranked teams, 6 of those 25 team ranks, only behind the SEC.
As we see those standings, UCLA, that 22-3 record, so impressive. Oregon State ranked 23rd. Arizona State 24th. Neck and neck.
Here's Grace Messmer. Taps it right over the first base. Although, however, they get the force out at second. Nelson didn't run until the ball hit the ground. So that'll be a force play out at second, and Mesmer will get on.
Yeah, tricky play. I don't know if Harger and Sanders have a little bit of a communication issue as they gather there in the middle of the field, but not a hard hit fly ball. It wasn't necessarily it was a bloop, but sometimes with as big of a seams as a softball has, when the ball's hit off of the bat, it takes a weird spin.
Yeah, that was a 3-6 put out on the second out of the inning. And here's Soto stepping up to the plate. Singled back in the third inning. Hits a foul ball right behind her. Goes in between her legs. Morgan throwing more pitches in this inning than her previous innings. However, still looking strong on the mound.
And she's got 2 outs. She's got runners on the corner. Threw 15 in the first inning and kind of settled in. 14 in the first inning, kind of settled in. She's keeping pretty even. 54 on the night.
I guess she hasn't thrown as many pitches in this inning. However, the pace of this inning, she's thrown a lot just to get a couple outs over these last couple of seconds. Soto fouls it off the first base side, right above the dugout, hits the screen. 1-2 count now.
And Mac Morgan looking for that put out pitch, hoping to get a ground ball somewhere in the infield.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3 to end the inning. As Soto goes down on strikes. As we head to the bottom of the fourth inning, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth inning right here on the ASU live stream. Bottom of the fourth inning, ASU with a 5-1 lead as they step up to the plate. Alina Torres will get her 3rd plate appearance tonight. Looks like we also have a new pitcher on the mound. Sarah Hendinguez will replace Steptoe to start this bottom of the fourth inning.
Similar ERA, 1-1, just as the Arizona State Sun Devils have a fantastic bullpen and strength for their pitchers. So does Oregon State, as we see a strike there thrown to Elena Torres to lead off the bottom of the fourth inning.
Elena Torres, she singled, got the first hit in the very first at bat for the Sun Devils tonight. Fouls that off to the left side. That pitch was up and in. Torres is one of 3 to hit a home run in Tuesday's 9-1 win against Marist. She hit that in the second inning. She's played shortstop all season for ASU. However, she can also play catcher. Good utility player. And Torres swings and misses on an 0-2 count. That was way outside in the left-hander's batter's box, and so now there is one away in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, earlier on in the game, Steptoe couldn't necessarily get the Sun Devils to swing at that outside curveball as she was trying to locate it in the left-handed batter's box as well, but doing a great job up there.
Yanni Acuna takes the first pitch of this at bat for a strike. 0 for 2 tonight. She's flown out to left in both of her bats. The next pitch a little outside, about a foot off of the plate. Talk about Acuna, she leads ASU in almost every single offensive category. She's really turned it on so far this year in her 2022 campaign.
Yeah, the senior doing just that, taking on the senior role as we have heavy hitters in the ASU lineup, but I mean, she takes the cake in that number 2 spot. That's a tough thing to do.
Acuna, she totaled 11 total home runs in her career before starting this season, and this season she already has 8 home runs, leading the team. Her previous career high was 7 that she hit last season, and so she's already surpassed that, and now it's just only March as we're starting Pac-12 play.
Absolutely, and that is something that these ASU hitters like to do, is they like to leave the park, as they played teams here last homestand at Farrington Stadium who, as a team, would only hit 6 or so home runs, but she's got those herself under her belt, and so these hitters, they love the warm weather here.
They really do. Acuna hit that last pitch into the Oregon State dugout. Oh, it doesn't look like anybody's hurt, or seems like everybody is okay. 2-2 count. Off-speed pitch. She really waited on it, but she fouls that back. Acuna, she hit a home run last Sunday against Ball State. Again, that was number 8 of the season for her. Also leading the team in hits with 31 prior to tonight. And Acuna whips through that one for out number 2 of the inning. That was an inside pitch. Seems like she took a little bit less off of that and really caught her off guard once she hit that late fastball. It really kind of confused her a little bit.
Yeah, Hendiga's 2 back-to-back swinging strikeouts versus the first 2 batters for the Sun Devils, and that is a tough thing to do. She is a freshman from Upland, California, coming out of Upland High School over there in Southern California. And we said it earlier in the broadcast with Michael, Oregon State's, they're recruiting out of California, and they love to dip in that little pot.
Yeah, a lot of their freshmen are coming out of California. Again, a very young team, just 2 upperclassmen, 1 junior and 1 senior.
And that is something, that is actually the first difference that we've seen so far when we look at Oregon State and Arizona State, because Arizona, we've got a little bit of a melting pot here in terms of freshmen, sophomores. We have a few juniors and seniors, but we do have graduate students, and that has helped the freshmen, such as Sydney Sanders, stepping up to the plate here to really take on a role and help them mature. And so that's been basically the root of the success Arizona State has had so far this season.
Sanders, she sits with a 3-1 count. She scored the 5th run for the Sun Devils. Accepto walked her in the last inning. That was a walk drawn by Puck. Sanders is the daughter of former semi-pro baseball player Tracy Sanders, so I'm sure around this time he'd be out here in spring training. She pops it up to right field. And she's out to make the catch for out number 3. So no runs, no hits, nobody on base as we head to the 5th inning. Score is still 5-1 here in Tempe on the ASU live stream.
All right, fans, it's time for alumni trivia. All week. Leading off the 5th inning,
5-1 in the 5th inning.
number 33, Madison Simon.
Madison Simon will step up to plate for Oregon State. ASU 5 runs on 3 hits, and they have 1 error committed so far tonight. Oregon State 1 run on 4 hits. Haven't made an error yet. First pitch, she takes that for a ball, starting off the count 1-0.
And Madison Simon popped out in the 3rd. Mac Morgan dealing 56 pitches through 4 complete innings of play.
Second pitch in there over the heart of the plate for a strike. Morgan looking at her wrist for the sign. Sharp grounder over to 3rd base. And it's Price to make the throw over to first for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Price had that error with a softer, I don't want to say softer hit ball, just softer than that grounder right there, and that's why we call it the hot corner, ladies and gentlemen. Nice put out by Savannah Price.
Top of the order, back around for the Beavers. It'll be Kiki Escobar. Kiki, their leading hitter, hitless tonight. And 2 away, Hill over there as Escobar just tapped it into center field, and Jasmine Hill was there to make the catch.
Now batting number 12, Eliana
Hill was mic'd up a week ago. If anyone would like to check out the Sun Devil Twitter for the link to that YouTube video. Jasmine Hill, the center fielder for Arizona State.
I'm sure that would be pretty fun to watch and listen to.
Oh yeah, she's a funny character. She raps some J. Cole.
Wow.
Impressive.
And you said it's on Twitter or YouTube?
Yeah, I have the link. I believe it should be on all platforms for Arizona State softball on Instagram, Twitter. I'm pretty sure that's what the Instagram had linked it to was YouTube. But I will confirm that in the 6th inning for you. Those tuning in.
We'll have to listen. Lucy Campbell, a line drive home run into right center field, a solo shot. It's now 5-2, Arizona State up.
And that was the same exact spot that Jasmine Rollin had hit in the 1st inning, that right center part of the field. And when you have pitchers that throw hard, this is the result. Home runs, especially when you're in warm weather.
And that was a line drive. It was maybe just 10 or so feet off the ground and just snuck right over to the right of the Arizona State sign in center field. That's Oregon State's 5th hit of the night.
Yeah, not many hit off of Mac Morgan so far this season. And so we're going to see how the freshman responds. She's still up 5-2. It is the top of the 5th. She's only got 64 pitches under her belt so far tonight.
And correction, that was actually a Gottlieb on the home run. A solo shot. Now Lacey Campbell with the 2-0 count. And Price makes a diving catch. Throws it over the first baseman for the final out of the inning. Just right to her left, and she had a very nice slide. Quickly got up to make the final out. 1 run and 1 hit. No errors and no left on base. Oregon State closes the lead by just 3. It's 5-2 Arizona State after 5. Four and a half here in Farrington Stadium, heading into the bottom of the 5th. 5-2, ASU's had their lead all night. Jasmine Hill leading off for the bottom of the 5th. Takes the first pitch for the strike on the outside corner.
Hill walked and grounded and flied out to the pitcher, her first at bat.
One count. Ding is in her second inning. She fouls it off near the on-deck circle, near the Oregon State dugout. Hill, she started all 49 games last season, and seems to be that she's on the same track here for ASU.
Hill batting .375 so far in the season, has yet to get a hit so far this game. But we talk about how young this Oregon State team is, and we have a freshman pitcher in Mac Morgan on the mound tonight for the Arizona State Sun Devils. We had a sophomore who started the game for Oregon State in Steptoe.
A swing and a miss, and strike 3. Jasmine Hill goes down swinging, and there's one away.
And Hendiga is up there, also a freshman, putting away these Arizona hitters nicely, as that is her 3rd strikeout in 4 at-bats. And this is the top of the lineup.
Yeah, not facing the easy part of the lineup in terms of the order for ASU. Now it's Emily Cesares up to the plate. She has one of the few ASU Sun Devil hits tonight. Singled back in the first and scored one of those runs on the grand slam hit by Rollin in the first.
The ground ball earlier in the first inning ruled a hit rather than an error on second baseman Escobar.
She has a hitter's count 3-0. His first 3 pitches in there from Adingas are a little off the plate.
And they're trying to hit that outside corner.
It looks like she's going to reach base for the second time today.
Yeah, Hendiga is trying to hit that screwball as if she has an 0-2 count, but a quick walk after putting away the first 4 batters that she's faced. And we have the home run hitter, pardon me, the grand slam hitter up to the plate for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, that grand slam back in the first inning really gave ASU a big advantage, and they've taken advantage of that so far this whole night. Rollins showing a bunt attempt, but she pulls her bat back. This first pitch of her at bat here in the bottom of the 5th is a ball.
Yeah, Hendiga she knows exactly who's up to the plate, and we saw her throwing a change up there, missed it a little bit high, held on to it for a little bit too long.
That next pitch fouled back into the stands.
Yeah, unfortunately, you do not get to keep the softball.
Yeah, I don't get to keep that. I have to probably return it to the field.
It must be because they're harder to make, Chad, than baseballs. I know you get to keep the baseballs.
You normally get to keep the baseball, but the softballs use more leather, more stitches, they're bigger, harder to come by. They're also a little bit more expensive sometimes than baseballs, depending on if you buy them in bulk or not.
You know us softball players.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. It's the difference between baseball and softball. It's pretty interesting. That next pitch in there, count even at 2 now as Rollins takes that pitch. So far, Rollins perfect in terms of her batting average in Pac-12 play. That home run, and then she walked back in the 3rd inning. So starting off conference play well, hitting 1,000. She takes the outside pitch into left. However, it's Simon there for the catch. And there's now 2 away. That was a great catch. She reached over her left shoulder and had to kind of do a little turn as she was heading back and almost hit the wall.
Yeah, Simon doing a great job of knowing where she is in the field. We have a heavy hitter up in Jasmine Rollin. And I'm sure we're gonna get a little defensive switch here. But yeah, nice job by Simon there, utilizing her back shoulder. Any young outfielders that are tuning into the broadcast, be sure to do those outfield drills, those football drills. I know they're not fun. I know it oftentimes causes you to run out of breath. It's not something fun to start off practice with, but as you can see, Simon putting away Rollin there. It is important to learn how to do that back step and catch that fly ball over your shoulder.
First pitch in there for a strike. Looks like McKenna Harper pinch hitting for Hallie Harger. You see 172 on the season. She scored 6, and she has 1 long ball. Second pitch of her first Pac-12 appearance, and in there for a ball a little bit outside the lower part of the right-hander's batter's box.
Cazares moved to second base on the fly out from Jasmine Rollins. She is in scoring position for the Sun Devils as Harper looks to knock a base hit. Just that's all she has to do is get it past the infield, and that's going to score Cazares.
That would be a big advantage for ASU if they can capitalize and stretch this lead into 4 runs. I see the Rivera going over to Hedinguez just to communicate something. It might have been off just a little bit after she threw 3 balls to Harper to start off this at bat.
Yeah, they have a base open, but I'm sure they'd like to put away.
She comes back in a 3-0 count with a strike in there on the outside corner for the left-handed hitting Harper. Yeah, I'm sure with a runner on second, you kind of have to communicate signs, and I mean, no, there is sign stealing, of course, but you have to definitely switch it up because they can communicate that somehow. 3-1 count, a hitter's count. She swings and misses, Harper does, and now it turns into a full count. Full count with 2 outs. So she could be running on any moment. Kazara's over there at second, right after the pitch is delivered. In there for a strike as Harper goes down looking after being up 3-0 on the count. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base in scoring position as ASU still has a 5-2 lead heading into the top of the 6th inning here in Tempe.
Welcome back to Club Farrington, 5-2 Arizona State. We're about to head into the top of the 6th inning, and third member of our broadcast team, Joey Cena, with another report. Joey.
Thanks, Michael. I've been down next to the Sun Devil dugout throughout the game, and the energy in the dugout is ecstatic. They started out with high energy, but Jazzy Rollin excelled that with her first inning slam. The pitching performance behind Mac Morgan had helped as well. The Sun Devils are feeling good down there. Not one player is sitting on the bench when ASU is hitting. Everyone's up against the netting, looking to extend this 8-game winning streak. Back to you, Michael and Ashley.
Joey, thank you so much. Great job as always. And you saw right there, even when they weren't hitting, they're all up on the front step near the net, cheering on their defense. And Mac Morgan back off for her 6th inning of work, and first pitch is swung on, hit in the air to right field, easily played by Acuna. Frankie Hamoudi is retired for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, welcome back, Michael. 67 pitches through 6.1 innings pitched for Mac Morgan. Settling in nicely after the 2 runs scored, 1 in the 3rd and 1 in the 5th.
Ball 1 to Charity Sevatasi. 0 for 2 is Sevatasi, a pop out and a fly out. Oregon State still making some noise in their dugout, trying to rally as that one's fouled back. The count 1-1. 5 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Arizona State. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Oregon State. And they changed that Kiki Escobar error to an infield hit. And in that first inning, that allowed Jasmine Rollin to step up to the plate and hit the grand slam. Foul back. Count even at 2-2.
Kazara is just too speedy, was able to, probably figured that she would be able to reach first base, whether or not that ball was bobbled.
Take you around the conference after this 2-2 pitch from Mac Morgan. Swung on, hit in the air to right field, hit pretty well. Going back is Acuna. That ball is gone. Charity Sevatasi. A solo shot in Oregon State creeps a little bit closer. It's now 5-3.
Man, what a shot to right center field. That is the hot ticket so far tonight. We've seen 3 out of the yard, all 3 in right center field. Not grabbing as much heat as we've seen those 2 line drives over the fence, but Mac Morgan facing some adversity here, but you know, the bats of the Arizona State Sun Devils putting up that fiver through through 5 is the difference.
Kayla Nelson stands in, left-handed hitter. So it'd be pitch number 73 for Morgan, and it's ball 1. As promised, we'll take you around the Pac-12. Both of these games have gone final. Washington defeats Cal 4-2. And up in Salt Lake City, Utah with a 5-2 win over Oregon to start that 3-game series. And of course, here in Tempe, 5-3 Arizona State over Oregon State. We're in the 6th. And it's strike 1 of a high strike called on Nelson. How about Utah?
Oh man, what
Taking
an
down
upset.
number 12 Oregon to open up that series.
I cannot wait to dive into that scorecard.
It's chop foul.
.75 pitches on the night for Mac Morgan. She's got 1 out away on top of the 6. 1-2 count. Not many off speeds thrown tonight as she gets a second look from Trisha Ford.
Chop to first. Sanders fields it cleanly, steps on the bag for out number 1, or out number 2 rather, on the 3 unassisted. And that'll bring up Grace Messmer. And that win for Utah snapped a 5-game losing streak as they improved to 16-11. Oregon dropped to 19-4.
The number 11 ranked Oregon Ducks. Nice facilities over there as they are sponsored by Nike.
Definitely an appealing place to play if you're a high school softball player looking to play in the Conference of Champions. Although got 2 pretty good teams here in Oregon State and Arizona State that are also very viable options.
Absolutely. Pac-12 showing out. They came to play this season, and we're going to see some good play in the postseason.
3-0 now to Messmer.
Mac Morgan trying to hit that inside corner. It's not being called by the home plate umpire, but a fair enough amount of jams this game. And so it's not like either team's laying off.
And there's a strike, count 3-1. Oregon State since hasn't had the tying run come up to the plate yet since that 4-0 lead ace you got in the first. Single runs in the 3rd, 5th, and 6th right now for the Beavers. To short. Torres, inning over. So Morgan does allow the big fly, but settles down to get Kayla Nelson and Grace Messmer to retire the side. So 1 run, 1 hit, and nobody left. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Sun Devils 5 and the Beavers 3 here on ASU Livestream 1. Bottom of the 6th inning, 5-3 Arizona State. And look at that moon. Only in Arizona can you get a sight like that. As what's been a beautiful night here at Farrington Stadium. Still 75 degrees as we come up on 7:45 local time. Jessica Puck stands in, fouls this one back. Count 0-1. Start the 6th. Puck struck out looking in the first, walked in the third. And that's missing outside.
Now these pitchers like to throw that curveball just off the plate to get you swinging. Puck looking for her first hit on the night.
Sarah Hedinges in the circle once again. Back out for her third inning as count 2-1. Hedinges a .90 ERA on the season in 46 2/3 innings.
Yeah, she is sensational. And did we mention she's a freshman?
Freshman out of Upland, California. The northern part of the state, over near the Oregon border. And that's ball 4. Puck retired. So that'll bring in, as Trisha Ford is out for a conversation. It looks like Bella Loomis is going to stand in for ASU. Loomis squares the bunt, gets it down, fielding into Savatasi. She throws to first in time. Up to second goes Jessica Puck. So Bella Loomis on one pitch comes in and does her job on the sacrifice bunt, which flips the lineup over to Alina Torres. Torres on the night, 1 hit and 3 at-bats. Big insurance run out in scoring position. That's in the dirt.
Hendiguez, the 2021 CIF Player of the Year, is on the mound for the Beavers.
That one's fouled into the crowd, and in fact over the crowd. So we'll head out into the concourse to count even at 1-1.
Yeah, if her ERA that was mentioned wasn't impressive enough. She plans on becoming a sports manager after her career is over at Oregon State as a softball player when she puts the glove and bat down.
Check swing, called strike 2. Torres can't believe it.
Some groans from both sides. Umpires aren't perfect. That is the human aspect we take in.
Count even at 2-2.
I mean, unless we want robots there behind the plate.
Certainly something that could happen in Major League Baseball, or at least in professional baseball soon.
Interesting.
Couldn't, yeah, it wasn't negotiated in this last CBA, but of course, 5 years from now, once that expires, whatever advances in technology we have by then, by 2026, see what happens.
Yeah, the lockout pushing spring training and pushing the start of play by 2 weeks. I'm sure robots as umpires was last on the list to be discussed.
So Torres battling in the batter's box. Got a runner at second with 1 out. And the pitch outside.
Yeah, trying to get that curveball out on the corner. It's been called inconsistently tonight. And so that's why we see Hendigas questioning the umpire a little bit. And we see Torres questioning.
She stays alive again. Alina Torres having a very impressive at-bat against Sarah Hedinges. Hedinges has struck out 4 in her 2 1/3 innings to this point. Looking for another one right here. That one's popped up again, out of play. As the softball lands just in front of us, behind home plate. In front of a packed section behind home plate. In fact, 1,643 at the club tonight. Very nice to see the fans coming out in full force to start Pac-12 play, bringing energy. And the pitch outside, Alina Torres, what an at-bat.
Yeah, we talked about patience earlier in the broadcast. And Torres doing just that as she draws the walk after being down 1-2 in the count.
That was a 10-pitch at-bat from Torres. So now it's runners on first and second, 1 out. Yanni Acuna stands in. She's 0 for 3, a pair of flyouts and a strikeout. She takes ball 1.
That ball skipping in the dirt for Sarah, the right-handed pitcher for the Beavers. Trying to overgrip a little bit. You can see her trying to get her adrenaline going. 1 out, 2 runners on.
2-0. We mentioned the patience of these Arizona State hitters. 8 walks they've drawn tonight in the 5 1/3 innings to this point.
Yeah, and they are working up that pitch count as we see 54 pitches for the freshman on the hill.
And a good off-speed pitch right there.
Beautiful. That's honestly what I would like to see more of tonight. We see a lot of fast fastballs as we take a look at Sarah's balls to strikes ratio. 25 balls in comparison to her 30 strikes.
Chopped, but foul. So we'll do it again, counting even to 2-2.
But yeah, these ASU Sun Devils are working the count. They're getting that pitch count up, and they're doing whatever they can to make sure that whoever's on the mound for the Beavers, they are tiring out quickly, especially in the 70-degree weather.
At second is Puck. At first is Torres. That one's popped up. Giving chase is Campbell, but that's going to go out of play and into the crowd. So we'll do it again.
We're getting a little catching lesson as to how to catch foul balls there here in Farrington Stadium. Unfortunately, that might make the Sports Center not top 10. As we see a 2-2 count here for Yanni Acuna.
That one's lined right to the second baseman. Escobar throw back to first in time for the double play. Not much Alina Torres could do right there, and that ball was hit extremely hard. Unfortunately for Yanni Acuna and the Sun Devils, it was right at Kiki Escobar for the 4-3 double play. So no runs, no hits, and just 1 left. We're going to the 7th. Sun Devils 3 outs away from their first Pac-12 victory. They lead at 5-3 here on ASU Livestream 1. Welcome back to Farrington. 5-3. Arizona State leads it. 3 outs away from victory. Mac Morgan taking the circle to try and finish this game off, but potentially may have some help coming behind her, as our Joey Cena reports.
Hometown girl Marissa Schold from Scottsdale, Arizona is up and ready to go in the Sun Devils bullpen if need be. I heard Coach Ford say, be ready for the top of the lineup, so we'll see if she comes in or not here in the top half of the 7th inning.
Joey Cena, thank you very much. As we get ready to go. Mac Morgan trying to go for the complete game, but Marissa Schold waiting behind her, as was Lindsay Lopez getting loose, tossing in that bullpen.
Leading off the 7th inning for the Phoenix, number 2, Des Rivera.
So Des Rivera stands in and being ready for the top of the lineup. This is the 8, 9, and 1 part of the lineup, so especially if perhaps the tying run comes to the plate, we'll see if Trisha Ford makes a move. There's strike 1. Oregon State bench trying to make some noise. Looking for a base runner. And that's in the dirt. Five, 3 Sun Devils looking for their 9th straight win. Check swing foul, 1-2.
Yeah, Mac Morgan looking for that complete game, but it will be the 4th time through the lineup for these Oregon State Beavers, as we see the warm-up swing of Simon, the left fielder.
To third, Price in fair territory, throws across the diamond in time. 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
Now batting number 33, Madison Simon.
So Madison Simon stands in. 0 for 2. There's strike 1 right down the middle. Sun Devils have just 3 hits, but they have 5 runs. They lead in the run column. Morgan trying to finish off the gem. That's inside. Swinging a foul back to the screen. Count 1-2.
Simon just looking to get on base so Escobar can move her over just to get, you know, the tying run to the plate. Mac Morgan, 88 pitches thrown on the night, 30 balls to 58 strikes.
Line right to Price for out number 2.
Now, when you got it, you got it. Price has done fairly well since her error by a soft ground ball. Sometimes the harder hit stuff is just easier to grab.
Well, the Price has certainly been right at the hot corner in this 7th inning. As here is the top of the lineup, Kiki Escobar. Now time called at the plate. So far, so good in this 7th inning. Mac Morgan swinging a chopper to second. Parker bobbles, throws to first in time, and the ball game is over. Mac Morgan, a complete game, 7 innings, allows 5 hits, 3 runs, strikes out 3, does not walk a batter, and the Sun Devils pick up a big win to open up conference play 5-3 over number 23 ranked Oregon State. And actually, we just got to look back to that first inning and taking advantage of the error made by Escobar in that first inning. And Jasmine Rollin hits the grand slam.
Yeah, Rollin doing what she does best, clearing the ducks off the pond. Arizona State doing a great job of not just being patient at the plate, not just hitting the balls out of the park. They only hit one today, but timely hitting was the key, and Mac Morgan got the win on the day, and the freshman's got a lot of juice left in that arm for the rest of Pac-12 play as we look towards the next 2 games against Oregon State.
And as we wrap things up from Farrington Stadium, final thoughts from Joey Sena, the third member of our broadcast team.
Thanks, Michael. After beating the Beavs tonight in their breast cancer awareness jerseys, ASU is looking to go up in the rankings, entering tonight's game, ranked number 22 in the nation. The fun continues tomorrow and Sunday against Oregon State before the Sun Devils head down south to face the Wildcats in Tucson starting next Friday night.
Well, 2 more solid games the rest of this series. Thank you, Joey, for your reports. And a very nice crown, 1,643 here at Club Farrington. Of course, our next ASU live stream tomorrow, 4 p.m. against Oregon State right here on ASU Live Stream 1. For the entire stream team, production staff, and crew, for my partner, Ashley Stevens, for the third member of our broadcast crew, Joseph Sena, and the fourth member of our broadcast team, Chad Vatherine, I am Michael Baribault saying good night from Farrington Stadium on the campus of Arizona State University.